Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jumpcast. I am your host today, Max, and I am, of course, joined by my other host.
Nick, hello,
Uh,
I'm here.
Hello. And normally we would have our other Max, but sadly he is still MIA. Hopefully he will be back soon. I know we say that every week, but we'll get it right eventually.
Yeah, right. He's taking a little break. He's on
Yeah,
vacation. He deserves a little.
he just finished his big film shoot. He does deserve it. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
but too bad he can't be here.
But
Um,
so yeah, today we are going to be covering chapter 266 of Jujutsu Kaisen. And as usual, I'll turn it over to Nick to do our chapter recap.
thank you, thank you. I'm happy that we're back with more JJK. I hate break weeks. So as Max said, we're covering chapter 266. We're back to Inhuman Makio Shinjuku Showdown. Um, we remember from last chapter, just because it has been a week. It was Yuji and Sukuna talking in his weird domain slash like merge of cursed energy thing. Basically, uh, just trying to make Sukuna realize that lives are worth something and he should just kill them. Um, and then it failed. Yuji threatened him, said, "Release Megami, I can kill you at any time." And then he's just like, "How dare you show me pity?" So then, at the beginning of this chapter, we see Yuji talking to Megami. I'm assuming that he got into connection with this soul. Um, and it starts with Megami just saying like you've done enough. He talks about a little bit on like what worldview or like what world he was trying to create for himself, which was basically just make a world that Sumiki wouldn't have to deal with a lot of the injustice and unhappiness with this world. Kind of like an impossible feat, but just going on about that, saying like how in an ideal world, at least he could eat the food that he likes or he's used to making, enjoy the laundry, spend time with someone like Yuji, a good friend, and Sumiki. Um, and it's just like, you know what? It didn't work out. You've done enough. Yuji then himself tries to explain his own experience, just talking about his grandfather suffered from lung cancer and he refused treatment. Uh, he didn't understand it. He didn't even understand like euthanasia either. But after like this whole experience and everything, basically coming to the conclusion of I don't have the right to tell you that you should live. That's just his conclusion. Um, which I think is a kind of unique take. We can go into that a little bit later. But after that happens, we cut back to the domain where Sukuna is back in his regular form, and he does Hollow Wicker Basket, as we are all kind of assuming that he would do. And then him and Yuji just start fighting. Sukuna has the inner dialogue that he doesn't want to. Uh, it's a little too risky to do the like let me destroy a part of my brain and regain my curse technique sort of thing that Gojo did. So they just start punching. It's literally just a couple pages of them duking it out. Mainly the first couple pages is Yuji getting his shit rocked and Sukuna getting a little cocky and just pointing out just like, how dare you show me pity. I'm gonna get rid of everything you love. Um, and then again, it cuts back to like the soul talking where the what is it? Where Megami first met Gojo. Um, so like it's like baby Megami. He turns around and he looks and he sees Yuji. And Yuji says it'll be lonely without you, or it's lonely without you, Fushiguro. And then that sparks Megami to use his curse technique to fuck with Sukuna. And then Yuji starts going in on him. They just trade blows, and then at the end, uh, the what is it? Yuji's gauntlets. It's now confirmed. It's not just weird hands. It crumbles as Sukuna did regain his curse technique from I think what Gojo did. it's still kind of translations were a little weird. But as he does a domain expansion, his I don't know, what's a good way to describe it? He senses or he feels the sense of his last finger in this weird chasm. Um, so yeah, that's the end of the chapter. Um, should we go over Dreeze's thoughts?
Yeah. Do you want me to do them or do you want to do them?
Would you mind going over it?
Yeah. So I've got Dreeze's thoughts here. He said this shit is getting interesting, and he's talking about how the art in this chapter is wild, and also with Yuji's gloves coming off and the final Sukuna finger. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's very interesting. I kind of made it. One of the notes I made is like I don't know if it was like the final Sukuna finger showing up or Yuji like going back to just like hand to hand combat. I feel like the series is like it's kind of slowly been ending the past 6 months, but I feel like it's really setting in that it's gonna be over in a bit. Like I don't know what
Oh
it was
yeah.
about. It was just like it's over.
Yeah, like with the Yuji domain expansion, I thought that, and then like the next chapter was like, okay, maybe we're waiting a little bit, and then like, never mind, we got right back into the action.
Yeah,
It's definitely like, I don't know, probably just a couple more months and then we're done.
yeah. So it'll
So,
be interesting to see. Maybe we talk about how Gege is going to end the series or what's gonna happen with
how
it.
this is ending
Yeah, because
exactly, like what we're gonna get.
I mean, because like I think when you think of like a manga, you honestly think of like a comic almost. Right? Like the series is like never ending. We're gonna get a
Hmm.
reboot, and we're gonna be on Dimension 40 gazillion with that version of Yuji still fighting Sukuna or something.
Yeah,
Um, but I think it's good.
the
Yeah, it's good that it's coming to an end. I think it's run its course, and I don't know how else to phrase it.
yeah.
It's run its course.
I'm I'm excited to see how it ends just because there's still some mysteries. Um, so I don't know, I think it'll be fun. I want to touch on what Dries said about the art being fun or interesting this chapter, which I agree specifically with page 15. I love that page so much of
Hmm.
just like it's both Yuji and Sukuna holding each other's heads and then
Swinging
bashing
on each
into the
other.
other with like a right hook from each other, like continuously doing it. Um, so I just think that's really fun. Uh, and another thing, just because I need to get this out of my head, someone brought up the thought that since we're seeing the last Sukuna finger, it very much could be that what is it? Why is my brain not working now? That Yuji gave um Rika and slash Yuta the cleave and dismantle technique
Hmm.
by having Rika eat a part of him. Just because if you look at the hand, so like after the gauntlet disappears, he's missing fingers. So he's missing the pinky, which makes sense because that was the one that Sukuna ripped off. And then the other one, we don't know what happened. At least I don't remember what happened to that finger, that little ring finger. So it could have been that he just cut it off and like Rika can take it.
Mm.
Let her have a little Scooby snack.
Yeah, because my thought when I saw that was just like you said, it was just it's from when Sukuna like they fought at the end of the Culling games, but I didn't even think
Hmm.
about it because I thought I was under the impression that um, Yuta ate or Rika ate the final Sukuna finger, but then you see the finger, so I was like, well, didn't they rip out like his tongue in his second mouth? So I was like, maybe they just ate that. I don't know. Who
Yeah, like
knows?
lots of options.
Yeah.
Um, this also brings up this is my wacky ass theory for probably what will happen next week. Um, since we see the last finger, it could be a bunch of different options. It could either probably be that like I don't know, a bunch of cursed spirits swarm to it, and like in that process, maybe Sukuna also goes after it, and then he gets tackled by a bunch of cursed spirits. But another one could be, um, we see that dead sorcerers can leave. past weapons that are imbued with the technique. So we could just see maybe like Nobara is dead, but maybe her hammer has her technique.
Mm.
So
And Yuji or
someone else
someone
could just
uses
be
it.
like, yeah, exactly. Like somebody back at the headquarters is like, you know what, bonk, and
Oh,
then we
like
just see like
hits
a
the
big
Sukuna
spike.
finger and it reverberates through
Yeah, with the
Sukuna.
hammer. Yeah, like even
Mm.
like a Mai or like any random ass
Yeah, she said
could
she
just
wouldn't
like
use a
come up
sword,
with
but
a
she said
hammer.
nothing about hammers. Think
Exactly.
about that.
Exactly. We see Takaba just like wonk. Um, so yeah, I just had to get those out of my head.
No, that's a good theory. I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
Um, I just went on.
I I really also I like the fact that like Yuji and Megami talked, and I like how Megami found his own reason for fighting instead of having Yuji tell him that he has to live.
Mm.
Like, of course, like maybe he struck at his chords by saying like it's lonely without you. Um, but I don't know. That made me happy that Megami to say like, you know what, I am gonna do this shit, even
Mm-hmm.
if it's just like sinking him in for just a second.
Well, because it's like the whole point of like Megami is just to help Sumigi, but like he needs. I think it's kind of a similar like character arc of Yuji where he needs more of a motivation than just to die a good death to help Sumigi. He needs his own. Um,
He
he
needs a
needs,
reason to live
yeah,
on.
you know, it's. I wouldn't say like a
Exactly.
weak motivation, but it's not. It's not the most compelling, and it's not
Hmm.
gonna last you the longest. Um, oh, hold on. Oh, I thought I was about to sneeze. Sorry. But it's you can't just rely on others to give you motivation. You have to find something within yourself. Um,
Hmm.
and I mean, maybe you know, you just saying it's gonna be lonely without you. Maybe Megami doesn't want the people close to him, to be lonely. So maybe that's why his motivation to keep on going and living is to. But whatever. It's interesting to see like um, where that line gets drawn and where they start to these are like what 15, 16-year old kids, and they're still kids at this point, but they're
Yeah.
starting to develop be their own people and develop their own reasons to do what they do. So
Yeah.
it's an important part of growing up.
Exactly.
So
Um, Another thing to point out that I like is seeing Yuji and Sukuna fight throughout all the different areas in the domain. Because I don't know if you see it, but like at the beginning they start off where they last left off, but then it cuts back to like the building that they visited, like especially Sukuna just rocks
oh, he
Yuji,
throws
just
him through,
yeah.
yeah.
But I think it's really fun because you see like how the domain shifts and everything too.
It's not like stagnant like the other domains. It's
Hmm.
constantly changing. I don't know if I'd use the word evolving, but it's flowing. It's changing, which is kind of
Yeah.
interesting. So, but yeah, no, that it's. I think it's good. Like I was really, I didn't. There's part of me that was thinking like, okay, when we get cut back, we're not going to be in Yuji's domain anymore. Like, we're not going to
Hmm.
ever see it. But I do like that we get to see, um, his domain. But I would really like to see, if Yuji does get a sure hit in his domain, I'd really love to see, with this like moment where like Sukuna's stunned. I'd really
Hmm.
like to see that. That's where we get to see what, you know, Yuji uses as a sure hit technique. I don't know if it's just a super black flash or something, but
Yeah.
um, I'd like to see
I'm
that.
still holding out for the burning. I don't think it will happen now, but Gege, please. I'm begging you. I gave you a really cool idea. Please go with.
Yeah, no, it's like you like to see something happen, but who knows? Who knows what would
Mhm.
happen? So, but
Yeah.
I know I want to see like, cause this Sukuna finger, like if it's Nobra's hammer or whatever, but it's not just sitting out of the way for no reason. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe it'd be kind of cool if Principal Yagi or Gakuganji, whatever the one from the Kyoto school. We haven't
Yeah,
him.
Gakuganji.
We haven't seen him in Utahime, so maybe they're doing something with it. Like that's their job now, is protecting the Sukuna finger while these curses go
Yeah.
after it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're the ones doing damage on it or something. So,
Yeah.
but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe next chapter we just see Yuji cut into a million pieces. That could still be the
No.
case. Could still be the case. Get outplayed. Get outplayed.
Dude, I'm actually going to cry
You
during the
sweating so
record.
hard, boy. What the hell?
Dude,
That's
if
what
that
Sukuna's
actually
saying.
happens, dude, I'm gonna cry on camera when we record. I will actually do it.
Just starts off with tears.
Um, but yeah, no, it's like, but I like to see that like, um, Sukuna and Yuji's fight now is like, it's just like you said, it's just straight up hands. Like it's going crazy. Um, like
Yeah.
you said, they're grabbing each
Really
other
good
and
impact images.
yeah, it's like it's perfect. It's like it's what you want like a fight scene to look like.
Yeah. Like I especially love page 8, like at the bottom, like when you just see the wind up for
Oh yeah,
Sukuna's fist.
yeah. No, it's perfect. I don't know if it's perfect. I don't know if I use the word perfect, but it's good. It's what I wanted
Yeah.
this fight to be like. Um, and did you notice the parallel that when Yuji says it'll be lonely without you, that it parallels the first time Gojo met Megami?
What does
Uh,
Gojo say?
well, so when he first meets him, it's like when Megami's a kid, Megami goes, "What's with that face or that
Oh
look?"
yeah, I
Yeah.
said that in like the chapter
Oh,
recap.
my bad. I must have
No, it's all
spaced out.
good. No, I find it really interesting that he chose that scene as well. I'm wondering why.
Maybe we'll get the why next week, hopefully, or maybe never.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could really take it as I don't know. You could take it as like Yuji's like the last thing that's ugh. There are too many different ways that my brain is like spiraling on this. Like it's like Megami's last connection to like the Jujutsu world
hmm
because like Gojo's the one that introduced him to it. Um, or it's the whole um like the person to save Megami because the first one was Gojo like saving him from the
Uh,
Zenin clan. And now it's Yuji from Sukuna.
but yeah,
Or from
no.
wanting to sit there and be like, hell no, hell no. So yeah, a lot of options.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Sorry, I'm just marking down some other stuff. But yeah, no, it's crazy to think like, you know, yeah, I see not crazy thing. It's crazy to see like the Yuji and Sukuna 1v1 like actually happen because it feels like they from the start of the series it was always going to be Gojo and Sukuna, but I'm like I was always hoping it'd be Yuji and Sukuna fighting. I was always hoping there would be that, and it's so good
You're
to
you're
see
getting
like
it.
just them. Like you know, cool if someone else like Toto or someone could get back in the fight and help, but like if it's just the two of them for us this fight, oh, I'd love it. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, I really like it, especially because like Toto made it feel like super unfair
hmm
for good reason. It was like the ultimate 2-on-1. But just like I remember seeing this chapter, just like, God damn, I'm happy we got Toto back, but like Sukuna can't catch a break, and this is a really weird moment. And like I
hmm
feel like this is like snubbing out Sukuna in the weirdest way possible.
Yeah, it's like it's you want Sukuna to die, but you're like, this isn't fair for Sukuna to die like this. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you hate to say it, but you're like, Why is he going out like this?
Yeah, like brother has to go out a little bit harder than this.
Exactly, yeah. So,
It's I find it also very fun that the series is ending basically in domain expansions because I don't know if I ever voiced this back in like our earlier episodes, but um like a domain expansion is really cool, but and like it's cool as like a feat itself, but it doesn't play well when it comes to writing a good fight scene.
hmm
Just because like it's like, oh, they're trapped in a curse technique and they are basically gone. There's nothing else that you can do. And like that's why I I really liked what Gege did with Gojo and Sukuna because it's just like, okay, they both have like the perfect curse, the perfect domain. So it's just them spamming it until they can't do it. So then it's like, okay, we have a little bit more of an interesting fight scene.
hmm
Um, but I'm interesting that it's interesting that he's still going with it with the domain expansions because he's flipped the script on it entirely, where like it really is like that last move where it's just like this secures the whole win.
hmm
Like to the point that Sukuna is just like, I'm praying for this cooldown to go to zero.
Yeah, he's actually
It,
like Sukuna. I mean, we've been saying it, but like Sukuna's actually on the back foot right now. Like he's,
yeah.
you know, I think like him making those comments where he's like, I pit. It's like where the comments he made where he's like, oh, I'm surprised. It's him like um relieving his. I don't know if I'd say relieving stress through comedy. I'd say comedy, but like he's actually voicing. He's like,
Yeah, it's him getting cocky again in like a good way.
you think
I'd
you think
put
you
it
got
like
me?
he's just like,
No.
yeah, yeah, exactly. He's just like, man, maybe I thought I was gone for 1 second, but I was so wrong. Look at you.
Yeah.
Also, horrible Overwatch reference. Fucking the domain expansion is just like him at like 90% on the ultimate, and he's like slamming Q. He's like, let me do this shit already. I
He's like
just want to
breaking his
win.
cue keys, like her Amatra's coming at him, like pocketed
Yeah,
by a Mercy with
exactly.
like their ult going. Like he's like, come on, come on, come on, come on,
Yeah.
come on, come on.
Come on, come on, come on. I want to win. I want to win so bad. Please.
Or like overtime or something.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
So, I don't know. The funny stuff.
yeah.
Um, what do you think will happen next chapter?
I like the idea of someone hitting Sukuna's finger with something and doing
Hmm.
damage to him that way. Because it'd be interesting to see because they've mentioned that the Sukuna fingers are like indestructible.
Hmm.
So if there's a way it'll still damage Sukuna, they could just keep wailing on it and like stunning
Hmm.
Sukuna or damaging him in some way. It'd be really cool to see. Um, but I want to
It
see a
would
domain
be,
clash. I also don't because like Yuji's. This is probably the first time he's ever used a domain. He's
yeah,
gonna
he's
get
he's
bodied.
gone if it
But like
happens.
my thought is maybe in this push and pull of a domain because Sukuna's so burnt out, his
Hmm.
domain isn't gonna last as long, and Yuji's like endurance will keep his up,
Yeah.
like slightly longer, and that's when, not I wouldn't say like the
I,
final hit, but like a really good hit that'll stop Sukuna.
hmm I think it would be, it would also be good to see like if I'm right with like the Nobara hammer thing, because like that could stop him from his domain expansion, and then like maybe he's not doing Hollow Wicker Basket anymore, and then he's like, oh, and then the sure hit effect of the domain kicks in.
And we see Yuji use the world cutting
20
slash.
page explanation on how the domain works.
20 page and then one single panel of Yuji saying the world cutting slash champ. Boom.
Yeah.
So
Another thing to point out as well is that Sukuna has a bloody nose right now, which I don't think that he got it from the punches.
no, it wasn't there earlier.
Yeah, so he could definitely have just like, oh no,
Like
like it may not have even been the finger. It's just like, oh no, I cut my brain up a little bit too much right now. And
he destroyed it too much, and you
yeah,
see him go, "Don't mean." Okay, that's actually really mean. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I was not gonna say
he got
it.
lobotomized.
Yeah, Lobotomy Kaiser got him. Like he's saying domain expansion, and then just Sukuna stands there, just nothing happens.
Yeah, he just
And
starts
like,
smiling and laughing.
no, I think it'd be cool if like he gets nervous and he's like, he just keeps yelling domain extension. He's like, why won't it work?
Oh,
Like,
and it's not coming out. That would be
and
really
then
good.
Yuji gets a menacing walk over and goes open or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or hear me out. He does do it, but then he breaks one of the binding vows somehow and
Oh,
he's just gone.
he accidentally uses Chimera Shadow Garden instead.
That'd be really funny. Just like, why are we in this?
Dude, that's how
Why is
Sukuna
there just a
dies.
dog in the corner? I'm scared right now. I'm
That's how
scared right now.
the series ends. Is Sukuna, you know, he breaks the binding vow, and we get to see how that actually affects him.
Yeah. We have so many things that could just mess with them because like if Megami is still in play, hear me out. What if he just took the other set of hands and did a domain expansion?
Oh, Megami does it, and it's another
Yeah.
three-way domain expansion.
Yeah, and it all just cancels out. Well, actually no, that was because of Rika from the last one. Or no, the cockroach.
Yeah.
Um, but there's that. There's also just like as I said, the wolf in the corner, like what if he just like bites the fingies? Like he just spawns out of nowhere, the great wolf.
Yeah, it's not a.
Um,
Ooh, I kind of like
yeah.
that.
We got so many things that could happen. All looks really bad for Sukuna.
Yes, finally, they all look bad for Sukuna,
Yes,
and hopefully they stay that way.
exactly. Urame jumps in, holding Hikari's head. And like you'll see this in 20 more chapters. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just
Oh
spewed out way too many ideas. I don't know where to go from here.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. It's crazy and cool. So
hmm
yeah. Do you have any
Yeah.
other closing thoughts then?
No, I'm just really excited for the next chapter. I think it will be very fun, very exciting. But I'm also sad that the series is ending, but it's got to end at some point. So,
Mm-hmm. But
yeah.
we're also now on break week too. So
Yes. God bless. God
God
bless.
bless indeed. We will be back with Jujutsu Kaisen 2 weeks in a row finally.
Yes.
So alrighty. Well, thank you so much for listening to episode 78 of the Jumpcast. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we did recording it. And we'll see you back next week. Have a great week
Yeah.
and goodbye.
Bye bye.